All right, I'm recording, so whenever you want to start.
Okay, I'm gonna change my location real quick.
I kind of like the virtual background. I want to mess with that.
What is that?
Oh, never mind. I can't even use it. It's stupid.
Oh, why?
It's like where like your background is like something random. Like I don't know why. It's like a lot of the teachers do that shit. It's just a fake background,
Beats me.
like what you have right now, Jack. I mean, keep it. I mean, you're in
um,
second place and you die out probably. Right?
that
That'd be
would be
cool.
cool actually. Yeah.
You're starting.
Podcast back. In college right now. Here. Oh man.
I don't know if we should cut this out. But I'll say we might just end up cutting this out. But I'll say, do you want to talk about you getting COVID?
um, I
Should we cut
mean,
that out?
it doesn't really matter. I
I guess it
mean,
does.
yeah, I got Corona, guys. It sucked, but it wasn't that bad. Honestly, it was destined to happen. I literally get sick all the fucking time. So, um, a couple of our, but it's funny because a couple of our close friends got Corona, and
Symptoms.
I didn't get it from them. And then as soon as I come over here, I get it like the first week after of training. So was it first week? No, I got it. I got it probably like 3-4 weeks ago. It's what, the 29th? Yeah.
But the symptoms weren't bad as mono, right? Or like it wasn't that bad.
Hell no. I had a fever for a day and that was it. And then I lost my taste for a few days and that was it. So
I don't know why, but right before your mic, I feel like you just weren't talking your mic well enough. Because right now you just like talked into it and you sound a lot more clear.
really?
Yeah, now you sound good.
All right,
But
let me
yeah, so
yeah,
what?
I'm gonna just put it right there.
So COVID life right now. It's what today is September
29th. And
29th.
hey, Florida just opened up phase 3, so I heard stuff's getting crazy down there, bro.
Yeah, you know, they're winning right now, so people are getting a little
Yeah.
more excited to go out, pots and pans out right now.
Yeah.
Big things in Miami right now.
Yeah,
Um,
Spanish thing for those of you who don't know.
but it's pretty interesting right now because we're both starting to practice. As me as a coach, for you as a runner. This is my
Yeah.
second week practicing back. This
This is
is
my
like
6th week. Yeah,
six,
7th week. Yeah.
seven.
'Cause I got here. So the day, you guys haven't seen the pod or heard the podcast yet because we haven't uploaded it yet. But we did like a string of podcasts. Literally the night before I left, I got like the worst sleep. The day before I was supposed to come up here, and yeah. But that was It's been a while. It's definitely been a while, and
In 2 months today,
yeah, two
so
months. Damn.
probably more actually.
Yeah.
Because I think we did it July 30th or something, or like late July.
Nah, we did it. We did it August
Oh,
3rd.
yeah. I'm
Yeah.
looking. We made the thing July, and then
Yeah.
the week
Yeah.
after. So it's been a little less 2 months. But I guess you're more interesting. So do you want to go? Just I don't know how
Well,
life
yeah. So
in
I mean
6 weeks.
training. I mean, okay. So uh, those of you guys don't know, I had mono way back in March. It's funny saying way back because it was shit. Time flies, bro. But um, so I got mono, really out of shape. Hadn't really done too many tempos the entire summer, and the longest I ran was like a 6-mile tempo. Um, and then as soon as I get back to school, I have an 8-mile tempo the first day, and I got dropped like hard. I think I made it through like 6 miles at 5:59 or 6 flat pace. So
Just real quick, like not don't name your teammates, but like what's the percentage of kids coming back in shape like first week versus kids not in shape?
it's probably like
Because I know it's everywhere. That's for
it's
sure.
probably like 80-20, honestly.
80 in shape.
Yeah, 80% in shape and like 20% out of shape. Um, And obviously I was out of shape for a different reason. I mean, I wouldn't say I was out of
You weren't
shape.
out of shape.
I wasn't out of shape, but like as far as tempos go, like I definitely couldn't handle like anything longer than 5 or 6 miles. Um,
But your mileage was still before it was like
oh, and
55.
my mileage is pretty bad actually too.
Really? What was it?
Uh,
50s?
Not terrible, but it was like 60, but
That's not terrible. When I
but it
mean
was
out of shape, you mean you're not running over the summer.
that's true, that's true. But it was just kind of like fluctuating up and down
Yeah.
in the summer. Um, but I mean now, I'm back up here getting, things rolling and stuff. Um, Tempo's going smooth, workouts going smooth. Uh, and I mean, yeah, it's cross country training right now. Well, we don't have a season, but
I'll say so.
um,
You officially don't have a cross country season this year.
it's confusing, bro. I don't know. Like, we don't even know yet. It's either we have cross country or like I don't even know what's going. Our coach don't even know what's going on right now.
Yeah, it's crazy because for high school, we're supposed to get our schedule today, I think. So like I don't even know. I think we're still like two
Oh
meets and
yeah,
then
tell listeners what's up with South Florida running right now.
so we just started practicing last week. We're allowed to practice for an hour and 15 minutes. Only allowed to be in groups of 10. Um,
An
and
hour
we
and
had to.
15 minutes isn't terrible. I mean, it kind of cuts.
It's a little short.
It's short, obviously, and it cuts, but it just kind of cuts the time for like kids
Yeah.
kind of to just have conversations and joke
Well,
around and stuff.
I gave my best runners a workout last week, and they had to cool down like after practice was over because we didn't have
Yeah.
enough time, and
Uh,
they did other stuff after too. But
yeah.
yeah, it's their second week. We have to check their temperature, do their oximeter, ox something, was we put something in their finger. They have to do a full survey on their phone. Um,
Those temperature checks are the stupidest thing
I
ever.
I just think like if you show up to school with a fever, you're just stupid. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like
Who goes to school when they're sick? Like, there's maybe a few people that will, but like, bruh, I want like when I was in high school, I would try to use any excuse to not go.
yeah,
Um,
and especially like they're not in school obviously right now, so they do school online. So they
yeah,
they literally they drive to school just for practice, and then so that's even worse. Like you're
yeah,
sick and you have a fever and you still show up to practice. Like so,
yeah,
I don't think that's going to be an issue. We didn't have one kid show up with a fever last week.
yeah.
Um, I have
So what I was getting at with that though is when I asked you that question. So you guys can't compete in the state series, right? Broward, Palm Beach, and Miami-Dade.
no, we cannot.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's literally two dual meets and like a county meet. So
I I just think that's so ridiculous when the cases like I've been checking out the cases down there every day and they have not been increasing like that much.
and what's worse is like this was supposed to be like my first really good team. Like I had a bunch of seniors.
Yeah.
I had a pretty good, not pretty good, but I had a chance to go to the state meet this year, which would be the first time in school history
And
for
honestly, that's like it might not seem like a lot, but honestly that's huge, especially cuz you're young in your coaching career and shit as a runner, I hadn't had a team go to states like as a whole full team and
exactly.
neither did you. You weren't a part of that and you know.
Yeah, and it's funny because I was telling my head coach, I was like, I feel like my first year only coached track, and then my second year only coached cross country, but then track got canceled mid year for COVID.
Yeah.
So I feel like I haven't gotten a full year of actual like coaching, and even this
Yeah.
year it's not going to be full year because it doesn't count cross country really.
Yeah. Oh yeah, cuz you didn't even when you came
I was only
in
the track
20
coach.
yeah, you came in 2019 cuz you didn't even coach in 2018 cross country season.
I was like a volunteer the last 6 weeks of the season.
That doesn't
Yes, but regardless, I never get to do cross and track.
yeah.
So it's frustrating. Um,
Yeah, but switching back to things over here so we have been having a like, couple of time trials and stuff not
you should say the 1,000 you run.
oh yeah, so I ran a time trial 1,000 in the middle of cross country season. I was just coming off of Corona, and okay, so last year, if you guys don't know, my PR in the mile is 4:16, and I came back off of my like little like sickness and ran a mile and did absolutely horrible and ran a 4:42 mile in college. um so Coach Cincy kind of like he's my coach. He kind of wanted to take things, light with me and not put me in a full mile because I was originally supposed to race a full mile, but then I got sick. Um, so he put me in the last 1,000 of the. It was kind of stupid. It's like it was in a way like a relay race, but I was just starting at the 1,000 when they got to the 1,000 point through 600 of the mile, and I split a 2:02 through the 800, and then I ran a 2:33 in the K, which honestly is pretty good for not having any speed whatsoever right now in cross country season, and really just, I mean, I talked to you about it on the phone. This like up until this point, we've just been doing tempos, threshold work, and fartleks. So
Yeah, and I asked you, and I think you said no. I asked you if you have done any even race pace workouts, and you said
yeah,
no.
we haven't. I mean,
Yeah.
we've done 5K race pace, but we haven't done like anything short, like below that, So
Which that's where it's supposed to be like. So.
yeah, exactly. And I mean, it's base pace though. Um,
And
Honestly, we had some pretty impressive times. For the people that ran the mile, um, we had 4:15, 4:17, and then a couple 4:25s. But honestly, that's really good for September. So
and with COVID and everything, because like
yeah, exactly.
yeah,
Just with all the craziness going on, that honestly, that was really solid.
and how many miles you're at this week? Because you're telling me you never.
Oh, so this past week, I hit my career high mileage week, and I ran 77. So
Do you have to say the workouts, but could you do like a quick what that looks like in 1 week? Like what is that even
so
long run?
okay, so I'm just gonna go real fast. So Monday, 8 mile run in the morning, 4.5 mile double.
Yeah.
Tuesday, tempo run, 9 mile day. Could have been more, but I was dying on the cool down. And then Wednesday was just a regular run. Thursday, another double, about 13 miles. Friday, easy run. Saturday, workout. And then Sunday, 14.5 mile long run. So
The long run felt good. You didn't go crazy
very
fast for
good.
that long run, right?
Nah.
Yeah.
So my coach's coaching principles, he doesn't really believe in going fast on long runs because it's just supposed to be time spent on your feet.
Yeah.
Which I mean, in the past, I've used that as like a third like medium workout of the week. But when you have two workouts plus like faster base days, it's kind of rough to try and go fast on long runs. So
Um, but it's basically like a progressive long run, right? I mean, you're just right.
I mean, nah, not really.
Just how you feel.
It's just like, yeah, chill. We're not supposed to dip into like below 6:30 for the entire run.
Yeah.
So yeah. But yeah, and it's like I hit 77 and two of my teammates hit 100 that week. So
God damn. That's
yeah.
crazy.
Hey,
100.
did 77 good enough for me as a distance runner, bro? I mean, a mid D runner.
I listened to another podcast, and they were saying that one guy was doing 320-mile weekdays, and he was doing 80-mile long runs, like on his long run days. I was just like, that's crazy. 80 miles. Like, you imagine doing an 80-mile long run. And this is like a legit runner. You know what I mean?
See, I believe in anywhere from like, and generally the percentage of your long run of your weekly mile is supposed to be 20 to 25%. But fuck, like when you're already running 320 miles a week, like I think that's a little excessive.
I
But hey,
just, does he just wake up and do his long run for 12 hours? You know what I mean? Like, is it
dude,
just a
I
whole day?
don't know.
It's crazy to me.
Yeah.
And this is for a week. Like, this is like a normal training plan, like a normal runner. I forgot his name, but Yeah, I heard it on the podcast
normal.
yesterday. Yeah,
It's
this
far
is
from
like an
normal.
average thing for him,
Yeah,
for him, for him.
yeah.
But I just thought it was
Um,
crazy.
so just transitioning into, stuff that's affecting the rest of the world, the running world in
COVID.
because of COVID.
Yeah,
Um, I know you saw Minnesota and William Mary's track team got cut. Track and cross country team got cut. I'm pretty sure.
I didn't even know.
And
I mean, I've heard schools, but I didn't know it was them.
yeah, Minnesota sent can't remember his name, but they had a national champion in 3K steeple last year, not last year, 2 years ago, and that program just got cut. And it just goes to show you that people do not care about our sport at all, bro. Aside from the people in our sport, like we don't have anybody that really cares about our sport. What football, is always gonna be the winning sport. So no
I
matter,
mean,
even if the football team's horrible, it doesn't matter.
I was in a coaches call with like a bunch of coaches, and he was saying he was like, we can't get one cross country, or we can't even start practice, but you see football games on TV, and it kind of summarizes what it is. At the end of
Yeah,
the day,
bro.
football.
And like I understand why our track doesn't generate as much revenue as football does, but at certain programs, like for example, like William and Mary's FCS school, their football team probably, I mean, they don't make really any, probably don't even break even when it comes to traveling to, a couple big games a year where they play an FBS school and they get paid to play. They probably don't even break even because they spend so much money traveling and all that stuff. So they don't really generate any revenue for the school either. And their football team sucks. But their track and field and cross country team is outstanding. They win conference every year, and they sent, I want to say, 5 guys to nationals in 2018 for track, and they still got cut, that's outrageous.
Excuse me. Yeah. It's at the end of the day, just a bunch of colleges all colleges are losing so much money. This
Yeah,
is another podcast. I hate saying it, but they're saying that colleges have been they're really like I think it's Division 1 NCAAs have borrowed over $1 billion this year because they're just losing so much money. If that makes sense,
yeah.
but
Well,
it makes sense. Schools are
honestly, in a way, I get why they're fighting so hard to bring all the big football schools back and stuff, but I don't know, like William and Mary, this is what I'm trying to say is there's the schools that are cutting the programs are the schools that don't generate any money off of their school's football team anyways. And
yeah.
why is it always cross country and track? Akron, for another example, like one of the absolute worst teams in the NCAA FBS cut their men's and cross country track and field program, and Clayton Murphy went there. One and only, not, I mean, he's not the only, but he's one of the only medalists ever in the 800 for the United States. That just goes to show you that they don't care, right? Like people in power, they just don't care.
Yeah, I don't really know enough about that stuff, to be honest. Like,
Yeah,
I just, yeah, I don't know. I've seen like discussions on it because like I'm in Facebook groups
yeah,
with other coaches and they talk about it. And I honestly just listen because I'm not a college coach and I'm not a college runner.
yeah.
Um, but it's just kind of crazy because it's like some of the top programs, like you just said.
Well, that's what I'm saying. It's so shocking because it's programs that you would have never thought like would be on the AD's minds to, or the head of the school's minds to cut the programs.
But and I don't like that's what it just shows where college is really just I don't want to say it's a scam because people say it's a scam, but like
Yeah.
it's all about money at the end of the day.
No, it is all about money. At the end of the day, money makes the world go around, bro, and
And you
you know
could
how
see
that
that,
goes.
yeah,
Yeah.
especially with the schools.
And the hilarious thing is, I can guarantee you, there's a team out in Minnesota, William Mary, that sucks. Like fully funded, like a women's team with Title IX. It sucks. Here's the thing: those sports don't generate any money either. but they stay because of Title IX. Is I don't mean to be complaining or whatever, but like in a way it's not fair because those sports are taking up a bunch of money. They don't make any money at all.
And they were saying in the podcast I was listening to, the same one, they were saying that the theory, like we're tracking. Well, I don't know about cross country, but I know you said for track where track loses money is not true. He said a lot of
Yeah,
schools make not a lot of money, but they do make money off
they
track.
make some money. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you can't compare it to football, obviously. You know what I mean?
Of course not. Yeah.
But definitely. And I think what it is too, it's not really all football. I think it's just the top programs like LSU and Alabama where they make
Yeah.
so much money from football.
Yeah.
But a normal football program probably doesn't. I mean, we know Alabama LSU makes. I don't even know what the number is.
Yeah. I don't even know
But
what the
that's what
numbers are.
probably accelerates. Makes it higher.
Yeah.
So.
But yeah, it caught me off guard and it caught a lot of people off guard, especially when our sport doesn't require that much money to be funded anyways.
Yeah, it's funny. Like I said, I'm in the Facebook group thing with all the college coaches, and it's been a huge discussion. It's something that I just a lot of college coaches are frustrated with it.
And that's the thing. Like, I understand you're trying to like make budgets, like budget cuts and stuff like that, but our sport doesn't need that. Men's teams already are barely funded at all. Like on average, like I'm pretty sure the average men's team has like 6 or 7, aside from Power 5 conferences, have like 6 or 7 scholarships to divide with throughout an entire team. That's cross country and track because they're all looked at as one sport. So like, and then what else? Like we don't take that much in travel expenses. We take buses all the time. We don't need and we don't need like travel expenses, food, like all that stuff is cheap. It's definitely not as much as providing for a whole like 80-man football, however many number the roster is on most of these football teams in college, like.
Yeah,
So,
for sure.
and
Yeah.
and the other big issue with it is that football has like 52 scholarships a piece for every team, that's part of the problem there. That's why they immediately go and cut cross country, and it's because of Title IX. Because there's that many scholarships for football, they have to make it even for women's sports. So that's why they're not going to cut women's soccer or whatever, because they need those sports to balance it out. You feel me? So
Yeah. I was gonna change the subject, but if you have anything else?
Nah, not really. I mean, I just had to get all that out.
Yeah, I know you're a lot more
I just think
passionate
it's
about that than me.
Well, I mean, I'm
passionate about it too, but
it can
you.
affect me directly, and I hate to see talented runners have to pick up everything and leave.
And this kind of also, I didn't even think about this, but just hit me. It affects me too because the runners that I'm trying to get into a top school, it's a lot harder. And even, there's less scholarship money coming out next year.
I was literally about to just start talking about that. That was like a perfect transition. Go ahead.
That, and then also, I mean, you're redshirting track last year and redshirt this year cross country, so everybody has an extra. I mean, what 80% of college athletes have an extra year of running now, pretty
basically.
Much? So,
I mean, that doesn't necessarily mean they're going to be able to use it because a coach can choose whether or not you're talented enough to keep running. But
don't you think for the majority, they'll keep them for another year?
Yeah, probably, yeah.
So
there's a lot of guys on my team that redshirted last year that are probably going to get a 5th year.
Exactly. So
yeah,
I think it's this year and even next year is going to be the hardest ever to get some type of scholarship to
for sure
go to school. So if you want to go more into that, but I mean,
I was just gonna say, like, how do you think it's gonna affect your athletes? Like, how do you think the recruiting process is gonna go for your seniors?
I mean, so I have 3 decent seniors. I have 3 good seniors who have a chance to get scholarships this year, boys. It's hard. We don't even have a state meet for. Yeah, we don't even have a state meet for cross country this year, and you know how you're supposed to be competitive.
And you know how that messes you up. Coaches
That
coaches already don't even look at cross country times to begin with, and you know that. And
and
they look at placement from the state meet as far as cross country recruiting. And you guys don't even have a state meet. So
which say that. Well, I can say that again because I didn't realize it was a thing until you said it.
yeah,
And the reason why is basically every cross country course is different.
yeah.
Florida, there's no hills. Hold on.
Yeah, there's a bunch of different factors that courses can be short. A lot of courses are known for being short.
No. My bad.
You're good.
Mom wanted to ask if I want keeping coffee.
Uh,
Um,
yeah, a lot of courses are short. There's hills.
short.
There's
The short and I don't know throughout the country, but in South Florida, it's pretty bad.
yeah, there's a lot of short courses in Florida.
Short, inaccurate. There's some courses where you ran 3.4 miles, 3.5.
Oh yeah. Oh my gosh. You just brought back a memory I didn't think that I had.
Then you were like 19 at one meet because it was like 3.4. Yeah.
The literally 3 days later I ran a 17:08, but that race I ran a 19:01 all out.
And you won it, right?
And I won it, yeah, by like 50 seconds. And second place was Joseph in here in 19:53. So, yeah, it's
So
it's
bad.
bad, man. It's bad, but yeah, going back to the topic at hand, that's why coaches don't look at cross country times because frankly they don't really matter.
They look at placement. And let's be honest, the only probably official meet, at least in Florida, I mean, we have invitationals, but like that state meet is for
SRC,
sure.
yeah.
Yeah, that state meet
Yeah.
for sure is going to be 3.1 or
Yeah.
with exact distance.
Mhm.
But I think it's going to be really hard. And some of my runners, two of my runners didn't run for like 3 months because like their parents were not overprotective, but they were scared that, you know,
Yeah,
they
yeah.
couldn't go out to run. So some of my kids aren't in shape. Some of my kids are in shape. And then, this got me so mad. On Florida Runners, there's a picture of like the St. Thomas team in Columbus running at some invitation, like literally last week. I don't know if you saw it. And I'm like, public schools are not even allowed to race until November.
Oh yeah, and they're gonna be able to race in the state meet, aren't they? Because they're private.
I think so, but I don't know.
Wow,
So
yeah.
it just shows how much of an unfair advantage we are at. And it was actually your former coach who was telling me that he's seen the private schools like practice throughout the whole summer and like 30
Elliot?
kids training. Yeah, Coach Elliott.
Yeah.
And I can't even get my kids out because the
And
BCA won't allow
and
us to practice.
and again, that basically boils down to money because the private school is private, public school is public, and is what is the difference? If
No,
you guys, if they can go, why can't you guys go?
and I'll say this.
The same area.
So now we're allowed to start coaching, but it's considered voluntary practice, which means we don't really get paid right now. So
Yeah.
like I'm coaching right now, but I'm not really getting paid. I start getting paid in October when the season actually starts.
Yeah.
And that's with every coach every year. When the cross country coaches, football coaches, any coach in the fall, when they're coaching in the summer, they're technically not getting paid at all to work with you.
Yeah.
And I don't know how private schools work, but I'm guessing it's different, you know.
Yeah, I actually think they get paid year round.
Yeah. So
Because I think if I remember a conversation with
one
one of the coaches in the area, I'm pretty sure he said that they get paid year round.
But yeah, we're at a super unfair advantage, especially South Florida, because South Florida we can't go to races.
And it sucks because you guys. I mean, I know firsthand, you have a couple of talented seniors this year, but
yeah,
how are they gonna show what they can run? You know, just time trials, I guess.
Yeah, and like I said, we literally just started practicing last week.
You hear me, right?
Yeah, you lagged for a second. Am I good?
Yeah, you're good.
Okay. We started practicing last week, and I haven't seen all my runners yet because they have to get their physicals. So it's just public schools are at such a disadvantage, and like especially this year.
And really, like all you can do right now is time trials because you guys don't really have any meets like that.
And time trials on the track because we can't go anywhere. I mean,
there's an advantage there because at least when you have you wouldn't want to do a time trial if you're trying to put a time down for a college coach to see. You want to do it on the track because I mean the track is measured out
More
and
accurate, yeah.
yeah, it's accurate to the T. So
But I'm
that's
just saying.
that's what I've been telling guys down
Joseph.
there that need times and stuff. So
Yeah,
yeah.
but it's we're just at unfair advantage. I mean, the way I've approached this, listen, this is just preseason, and then literally once the season's over, we're taking maybe a week. I don't even know if it's gonna be a week off because we haven't been training. So,
Yeah, it doesn't really make sense to.
yeah. So at this point, it's the preseason, and then we're just gonna hope that we can have a normal track season and go to meets and stuff. Which
So I want to ask you a question. How do you adjust to that as a coach?
right now,
Yeah.
um, for are we talking about like because that's the thing with I think high school. I have girls that can't run half a lap right now. Like I have, you know what I mean? Like, and then I have guys that are obviously been running the whole summer, and you know vice
Yeah.
versa. I have new guys that can't run at all. So if you're asking the new guys, I mean, really in our second week, it's I think you said throw some time trials in there just so they can get some type of races in.
Yeah.
But I honestly don't even know the answer yet because I'm only in my. This is the second week today. Like today's our first day of practice, the second week. I mean, I don't even know what kids are in my shape in. We're doing a mile time trial this week for the boys.
Yeah.
I don't think there's an accurate answer. I don't think any coach knows, but
Yeah.
it's just. I mean, the runners that have been training this summer, it's nothing's changed. You know what I mean? At
Oh
the end of the
yeah.
day,
Yeah.
nothing's changed. So in that
But really,
aspect,
really, it just comes down to those guys that there's always one or two guys you get when school starts. They join cross country, because of a friend or something.
which
But
I have four returning runners and I have eight new runners that have never run.
exactly, and when you get a later start on it, those guys
Exactly.
usually end up coming on at the end of the season. But when you don't have a real season and your season's shortened, I mean, what do you
And
do?
my answer to that for the new kids is hope that you can keep them for track season. And that's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to build a relationship with them where they're like, hey, I actually kind of like cross country. Let me try track. So for the new runners, it's just trying to build a relationship with them to do track throughout the whole year because
Yeah.
that's kind of the goal at the end of the day for me.
Well, I mean, if you can get them to do track, really, it's just, I mean, I guess you'd have to motivate them to come back out because they probably won't be very fast and get to run too many races, so they might get discouraged.
Exactly. And that's
So,
why I think that's the biggest challenge for me is just to get the kid because it's gonna be two meets in the county meet. Like what am I mean, even the county meet to me, like I'm not gonna win it because there's a
oh yeah,
one's a really good private school that's been training the whole summer and the whole year.
yeah,
Um, I mean I might be able to get maybe top five if our kids do what they're supposed to do, but like it's at the end of the day, it's not gonna be gratifying as winning a district or
oh, of
going to
course not.
regionals or
Yeah,
states. So yeah, it's going to be hard, but I think like, I have to say like, hey, listen, this was just getting ready for track. And track, hopefully, there's going to be a state meet for track season for high
oh,
school.
there better be. That would be.
What's the point?
Then you're really putting kids at a disadvantage if there's no state meet.
Yeah, and what's the point as a coach? Like that's, I mean,
Yeah, you're
I have
basically training for no reason.
I have two main motivations as a coach. Well, performance wise, one is just getting faster time wise, and then two is getting to the state meet. Those are the two biggest performance wise. There's a lot of other stuff, but those are the two main things
Yeah.
performance wise. And if there's no state meet, there's only 2-3 meets. What's the point of coaching?
Yeah, and really then the only motivation is, hey, what college can I get this kid into, or what college can I get, or does this kid want to, continue running at the next level? Or if it's an underclassman, well, hey, I mean, I'm going to have this kid for another year. Let's start now.
Yeah,
So,
yeah, completely.
yeah, but yeah, that the recruiting thing is definitely going to be a big issue this year.
It's going to be stressful for me because two or three, let's say two of the kids really deserve some type of scholarship this year.
Yeah.
So we'll see.
Which honestly, I would love to have like another South Florida kid come up here and train, but
It's gonna be hard.
yeah, this is gonna be hard because
And
I can't go to my coach, tell him that I have a kid when he hasn't had a time since sophomore year. You know?
exactly, because
Yeah.
yeah, that's the one thing that I was not the difference between good coaches and bad coaches, but a lot of the bad coaches they
They'll
start
look
with
at those times and be like, look at those times and think, oh, he's not good enough to run for my program, or oh, he's a walk on at best.
no, but
But
what I was gonna say was because last year track, like a lot of the bad coaches, they'll have great races the first big invitational, and then they just go down from there. And your goal as a coach is to get better throughout the year. And my
yeah.
guys, every meet, we're going, getting faster and faster.
Oh, okay.
And
I know what you're getting.
so, yeah, their junior year, their times were okay, but if we would be able to finish that year, their times would have looked a lot better than
Yeah,
what they are
it
now.
doesn't look good on the surface because
We
I
ran
mean
three meets.
yeah, even me, I didn't run 416 till late March. So
Exactly. Yeah.
and who knows if I mean if I didn't get to run Sam Burley, my PR would have been still for my junior year.
Exactly.
So
And
and then
my runners, they all had better times than last year the PR, but it wasn't anything. Like it was like a 5 second PR for the mile or 10 seconds. But
yeah,
the
which
you shouldn't have a 25-30 second PR the first rate unless you did cross country for the first time or something.
unless you really like change up your training and went from like 10 miles to like 40 miles per week or something
Yeah,
like that. But
which isn't really common.
yeah, only a
But
select few athletes can do that. But
yeah, it's hard. It's hard, and like I said with the girls, especially girls, they're not running over the summer, so a lot of them, this is their first time
you know
doing
how I
anything,
feel. You know how I feel about high school runners that are girls.
doing it just for doing.
It's
And just,
just so hard to get them to run.
I mean, I'm fortunate. I mean, we know your former school, what they said has 0 girls. I have
Yeah,
7 girls today,
yeah.
so I'm supposed to have 9, which that's honestly great for a public school girls cross country team.
No, that is really good.
Yeah, so
Um, but
but
and here's another thing I thought of. Those seniors are also gonna have to be competing against JUCO transfers, regular transfers that their programs are getting cut.
yeah,
Exactly. So it makes it that much just makes the battle that much harder, especially
and
when there's kids out there that need a full scholarship to go to school. You know.
that's pretty much every kid for the most part.
Yeah.
And that's the issue too, especially track. It's kind of hard to, especially in Florida. I don't want to like. There's only 2 or 3 legit track programs in Florida, and then everywhere else is kind of hard to find. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that even
I
makes it
mean,
harder.
it's obvious. FSU, UNF, and UF.
UF, yeah,
Yeah.
and
And
that's
I mean, not to say that there's not other good schools, because there's also solid schools like FIU's got like something cooking up down there, and um,
FGCU has a decent cross country team,
FGCU's got a good cross country team as well.
but
And
then like UCF doesn't have a boys track team.
yeah,
FGCU doesn't have a track team, so
yeah,
FAU doesn't have a track team.
yeah,
So
exactly. So yeah,
it's tough. That's why
and and
I'm
honestly, recruiting out of state recruiting is kind of rare for like just
an
running. I
average,
mean, yeah, and like
and
you
not
have to
even
be like
average, but yeah,
very good to like get a full scholarship like to an out of state school, you know.
yeah, for sure.
But
Um, yeah. Do you want? I don't know if you want to switch to anything else. I'm trying to think anything else. High school. Oh, the only thing I was gonna tell you because it's kind of like a little brag for me. I still haven't finished it. I'm halfway through it, but I got my USATF level 1
oh
certification.
yeah, yeah,
I'm
yeah,
I'm
that was really good.
I'm halfway through the exam. It's 160 questions, but I can take it through like a 4 month span. But
Yeah, and what honestly like have you like did you learn anything new as a coach like going through that course? Because
so it's funny the tests. A lot of questions I don't know, but they're just so like detailed questions that like it's not that I don't know, but just the way that it's worded, like I actually have to read the book. But did I learn anything? Nothing crazy. I really want to take level two because level
So
two.
nothing of the like for your specific like category of like coaching, like a distance runner, for example.
So let me just explain it real quick. It was a Zoom from Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. Friday was from 5 to 9. Saturday was from 8 to 8, but no, 9 to 8. But we had 2 hour break, and then Sunday same thing, and then
Yeah.
Monday 5 to 9. So by Sunday for me, it got really boring. And it's like Sunday they were talking about shot put in the afternoon, and then morning I think it was pole vault.
Mm.
As a track coach, you want to learn other stuff, but through Zoom and doing it for a whole weekend nonstop, like I zoned out for the pole vault.
Oh yeah.
Um, it's it's good for coaches that have never done anything, like first year coaching.
Yeah.
Um,
And on it, like thinking about it, it's kind of weird to come into our sport without having any previous like background knowledge of the sport, you know?
what was interesting was like because we got split up in groups, and they're like, "Oh, raise your hand if you coach at a high school or college," and like not that many people raise their hand. Like other people are like, "Oh, like I'm a individual trainer or I'm
Hmm.
a this," and I'm just like, oh, I thought everybody would just be high school coaches
That
or
yeah,
college
actually,
coaches.
I wouldn't have thought of that either.
But it was cool because FAU coach was a distance guy, and he seems very knowledgeable, and asked him a couple questions.
Yeah.
The best thing actually from the thing was I never heard of the book. It's called Joe Vigil, some famous coach. The book is $130 textbook, but the guy said if you email him, he'll give you $30 and he will sign it. So I was like, oh, that's cool. I get a signed textbook by one of the greatest distance coaches.
Yeah.
I forgot what school. Do you remember what school he went or coached? It was some good school. It was like a D2 school, right? Like
Adam State. Adam
yeah.
State. Yeah, there we go.
So the book's supposed to be coming. I'm excited about that. Anything else? It was funny. Like I was trying to. I mean, I learned a couple of stuff from like the 400 and like little things here and there. But even some of the stuff they were teaching, like I feel like I have one of the greatest sprinting coaches with me.
Yeah.
And the stuff that he was saying that he tells me contradicts what they're telling us. Like something simple as the 4x1 handoff. I don't know if like when like, exchange the handoff, they're saying, "Oh, say go," and like Coach Henderson always told me like that's the stupidest thing you can do. Like you're running full speed trying to tell somebody to go. He's like,
Yeah, the perception is kind of messed up with that.
yeah. So it's just like, I mean, I learned a little bit, but I've heard other coaches say the same thing that they didn't learn anything too crazy for level one.
Yeah.
But it's still gonna look good to print out and say that I'm level
Oh,
one
of course, yeah.
USATF.
And I mean, really, that's kind of just what you're doing it for to begin with, because you learn a lot of your stuff from. And I mean, I didn't really expect you to learn anything new from it because you learned from like one of the greatest distance runners and coaches like in the county and um you know.
Yeah, and I was talking to one of the coaches, and I was telling him, like, "Oh, I really want to get my USATF level two," and he said he would do it with me, but he was saying that like to be honest, you learn so much more from other coaches and just emailing them and picking their mind or picking their brain instead of
Yeah, because
learning from a
re-
course.
that
Which
like
I feel like that's just life in general too.
coaching is just something you got to learn from experience.
Yeah,
So
yeah, and I recommend it if you're gonna take it seriously, or
yeah,
if you never coached. I would recommend taking that course if you're taking track seriously, or if you've never coached before, because it teaches you the basic rules. It teaches you how to design a workout. I mean, design a schedule.
yeah,
But it doesn't explain what a tempo run is. Well, it kind of does, but it doesn't go into like the details of
yeah.
it.
It doesn't go into depth, especially with like it doesn't go into depth in any major category, you know.
Which they in 3 days or 4 days have to go into distance running, shot put,
Yeah, that's
discus,
just not enough,
hurdles, sprints,
and
relay
that's also
races,
very overwhelming.
sports psychology. They had like
That's
10 different
actually a
sections.
that's actually a topic that I want to talk about in another podcast, sports psychology.
I don't want to go too deep in, but I was actually looking because I'm getting my bachelor's in psychology. I
Yeah.
was thinking about maybe looking to get my master's in sports psychology. That seems a little. not the biggest school person, but it seems interesting. So
Yeah, no, it is actually.
we can definitely go more into it in the
Yeah.
future. Um, but yeah, I mean, like if I was graded on a scale of 1 to 10, I'll say like a 7. Like you're not gonna learn anything crazy. It's not like uh if you coach more than a couple of years, it's not gonna do anything crazy. But it looks good.
Yeah.
So like I said,
It's just one accolade to check off of your
yeah. But don't get me wrong. I think getting my level 2 is gonna be great because it goes a lot more into detail, and even the
yeah.
coaches were saying it goes more into detail. And on top of that, the instructors that were teaching it, they knew their shit. I came like they knew what they were
Yeah.
talking about.
Yeah.
So it was cool.
Yeah.
It was really cool.
But yeah, I mean, other than that, I don't really have anything to say else.
Yeah, the podcast actually kind of flew.
Yeah,
Um,
it did. It's been like what is it, like 45 minutes,
uh,
50 minutes?
we started like 3:30, 40 minutes. Yeah, and we said it was only be 20
Okay.
minutes.
Yeah.
20, or like 20,
Like
25 minutes.
this shit always happens. Um, but yeah, all right, guys, you have any final thoughts before I wrap it up?
We went through the COVID. We went through our seasons, high school. I want to try to get this more consistently. The podcast. We're gonna try to.
Yeah.
It's just I don't know. I gotta see. I don't know. It's gonna be interesting. This might be on YouTube. I don't think the
Yeah.
first one, but this might be on YouTube. So if you want to see
Yeah.
what we look like and how ugly we look, you can definitely
Nah,
see us.
how ugly you look.
Shit.
I'm cute,
You
boys.
can lie to
But
yourself if you want.
but all right, guys, we're gonna wrap up this podcast. I'm Garrett Cardo. This is Ryan Mazzozo, and we are the Distance Theory Podcast signing out.